Hi guys, welcome to Women with Wings. Women with Wings is a project conducted by the Rotaract Club of IIT for women empowerment all around the world. So today we will be interviewing an amazing guest. So let's go and see who it is.
He is Sri Lanka's youngest rowing national champion. He represented our country in many international arenas on multiple occasions. An athlete who got qualified for the qualifier regatta, a member of Australian Strength and Conditioning Association, which level 1 strength and conditioning coach at ASCA, and a co-founder and head coach of Samaakhya. We have our amazing guest today, Ms. Samaakhya Gajanayake. Thank you so much for being with us today. Hi, thanks for the introduction.
Okay, so let's straight away go into questions.
Yeah.
So, who is woman to you, and how is being a woman define who you are today?
I think being a woman nowadays is multiple answers, as it could be biologically, and then nowadays there are people who consider them women. But on a mainstream perspective, I think someone who's born with the female organs, but also I don't want to discriminate or exclude anyone who considers themselves a woman to be any other.
Okay. So then moving on to the second question. So you've been in the arena since you were a kid. How did you develop this passion for sports and fitness?
I think it was just natural. We were kids, we were just told to play. And it was very small, I just tried out multiple things, and it happened to be a lot of sports or dancing, acting, a lot of things. And I ended up pursuing long term, mainly rowing and water polo. So it wasn't like a sudden moment or anything great, it was just a gradual thing that led to it.
It's a great answer. Can you share like one of the best memories you've had in your journey of sports and fitness?
That is really tough to tell. Okay, the one really good moment is probably the time that I decided that I'm going to take my rowing very serious. One year I rowed the nationals and we came second because maybe we went off course. That means we were not rowing straight, so we went out of the course. We had to go back and come back into the course, and we came second. I think that time that defeat really motivated me to focus more on my training. And I think that really made a huge difference in taking fitness and sports seriously.
Alright, so you played many roles in sports and fitness, school athlete, international athlete, and it's been a long journey towards where you are here today. What are the milestones in this journey?
Wow, I actually thought like that. Actually, the first time was probably when I first rowed, and never known girls to row against because I was like 9. So I rowed against boys. The next time I focused on rowing seriously, then probably when I first became the national champion at the age of 14, then representing the country, then finally coaching, and yeah.
All throughout this path, and especially sports is a male-dominated arena, as when you started off. Would you like to share some stories or situations that you faced that was different with you because you were
funny thing is, I don't think I looked at struggles saying just because I was a woman. That's probably my perspective. Does not mean that others won't have struggles just because they're a woman. I just look at the situation. I was probably given I had a lot of obstacles to overcome. But it never occurred to me saying it was because of my gender. It occurred to me as in saying, okay, this is the situation, what can I do? Is how I looked at it, and that's probably also why it helped me overcome it. Because if I had put it there saying, oh, it's because I'm a woman, I think it puts a limitation on our mindset and our ability. Because I'm pretty sure males have struggles as well, just not the same as us.
special. Can you speak to us a little bit about Samaakhya? So what exactly do you perform in there? How was the journey of building your business when?
We started in the middle of the pandemic. I was actually coaching even before that. Actually, one of my friends was like, why don't you just try doing it by yourself? And I guess I didn't have the confidence at first because I didn't know. But I guess I've been coaching for years before that, so then we tried and we started with one of my friends as a dietitian. So she checks the dietary aspect, I check the fitness and wellness aspect. Samaakhya is based with the intention of making each individual unstoppable, and that is to make each individual the best version of themselves. So we approach fitness or health not in an aspect of running the fastest or lifting the heaviest weight, but if you are a student or if you're working in a corporate, we believe in building your health in your body fit enough so that you can enjoy your life and do what you love. So if you're a student, to be fit enough to be able to go to uni or school, study afterwards, do your sports, extracurricular activities, or if you just like to socialize. Because if you don't have the healthy body and mind to do that, everything else in life becomes really tough. And it's far more practical to look at fitness and health that way, because if we end up foregoing a lot of things just to attain a certain body or to attain a certain physique or a physical materialistic goal, we are foregoing what we love. So as a result, we might still be unhappy. We might find it hard to be consistent with that goal. And the next reason also is what we don't realize is when we say, I want to lose weight or I want to lift a certain weight, the actual meaning behind that is not that you want to look a certain way. It comes from a point where you either have felt that your worth, self-worth, I might be too direct, but it might feel like you have a certain kind of insecurity and you try to cover that up with your physical body. And what happens is a lot of people who end up wanting to lose weight, if they don't really try and understand the real cause, which might be to gain self-confidence, self-esteem, a lot of other things, they may get into maybe anorexia, body dysphoria, or other psychological issues where they're never content. And we don't want to get into that really bad, so we want to actually have a happy society and a community that is the best version of themselves.
And we had some amazing initiatives that you got with building Samaakhya. And what do you think can make this for the better place for female population?
I think empathy. Having empathy, I think this goes to everyone as well. Being able to understand and empathize with another. So whether males or any other identify themselves as anything, to empathize with someone who is not going through the same thing and vice versa. And the moment we do it to both, not only the females but the males as well, I think they're a little bit easier to understand each other and have harmony and move forward.
That's an excellent answer. Empathy is really important when it comes to all situations that we face, and if we see a lack of it actually people. And with empathy, I think it would be a much better place for us people. So, final question for the interview. What is the 3 advices that you would give to women, girls out there today?
Break the limitations ahead. I'm aware we as females do have different cycles, menstrual cycles, different difficulties that males don't have. But I think the moment we say, we can't do it because of that, it limits us. And it also gives an opportunity for someone else to limit us as well. What we don't realize is those struggles that we face can actually make us build another skill by solving or overcoming that struggle. So to take that barrier off, saying just because we're females or just because we're males, or it can be just when your age, demographic, anything, take that barrier off. That's number 1. And whatever idea, motivation, anything you get, just try it. Because if you don't try it, you'll never know, right? Failing isn't actually as bad as what if. Because what if means you never know whether you would have succeeded or not. You fail, you can learn and move forward. And the third thing is probably to be able to
Okay, that's amazing. Those advices are really amazing. So that kind of brings us to the end of our interview. Thank you so much for coming. That's appreciated.
Thank you so much for having me and good luck.